maybe leave the dance routine at home. Although with telehealth, I guess you could really do the dance routine if you wanted to. Okay, hi everybody. Thanks for coming back. If you're new here, my name is Mickey. I'm a therapist. I talk about therapist-y things in this channel because I just never shut up about mental health. So we are doing a therapist reacts to TikTok video again. This time I curated the TikToks myself. So I think I only have 5. This will be like a little bit of a shorter one, but the last couple of ones that we've released have been like long. So maybe this will be like a nice, little refresher in between, a nice little break. Anyways, that's it. I don't have anything else to say. Let's watch some TikTok. All right, here we go.
Oh, I'm so sorry I'm late. Just bear with me 1 second here. Okay, Rachel, Rita, Rebecca. I knew. Okay, Rachel, and how are you doing? Not that I care too much, so maybe let's keep it 15 seconds tops. Cool, let's save that for your therapist, because I am just simply your drug lord, nothing more, nothing less. Okay, Rachel, how's the Lexapro working for you? You're not on Lexapro. Okay, I got a bad case of the Mondays. I also popped 2 Klonopins in the car, so can't really see. Your medication is making you convulse. Let's give it another 1 to 3 years to adjust. Rate your sadness for me on a scale of 1 to 7, 7 being sad. Okay. No, I'm just thinking about what I'm gonna order at the diner. I think tuna. Have you tried meditation? That really sucks that you wanna harm yourself and others. Now about the copay, is cash cool? I am just going to renew your prescription for the medication that you can't stand. Okay. That will be $450 cash.
Oh God, the accuracy, it hurts me. If you've never had a psychiatrist or been to a psychiatrist appointment before, flawless. It was so good that I forgot it was acting. This is one of the things actually that's important to talk about. Psychiatrists and psychotherapists or counselors, not the same. They don't do the same thing. Some psychiatrists are psychotherapists and will practice like talk therapy with you, but that's few and far between and very rare. And honestly, I would argue that there is a reason that those skill sets are oftentimes separated and treated as like very different specialties, because prescribing medication is like very science-based. Like there's a lot of biology and physiology and chemistry that goes into that you have to like understand. Being a psychotherapist and like a counselor, very, very different. And so if you are looking for therapy, make sure that you are looking for a therapist, a counselor, a licensed marriage and family therapist, psychologist, something like that, not a psychiatrist, because their bread and butter is medication, and oftentimes their bedside manner is like really not the best. No shade to psychiatrists. Like sometimes some of them are great. I'm sure that they're out there. I haven't met one, but I'm sure that they're out there. So, we're imperfect. We're imperfect people. Exercise some patience if you're trying to find a psychiatrist, because like, good luck. Okay, TikTok number 2. Yes, super fucking accurate. I don't know what this is about. I am not a youngin'. I'm not a Gen Z person, so I don't really get it, because I grew up with a very different type of internet than y'all did. There's like this very strange thing. It's not strange, but it's just different from what I'm used to. Phenomenon of like Gen Z and like younger people feeling very comfortable and candid, talking about all of the nitty-gritty details of their mental illness and what they're going through, and suicidal ideation and abuse and trauma and self-harm on social media and like with other people, like strangers on the fucking internet. But then like you come to therapy and they just like clam up. Like, I don't want to talk about it. Like, ooh, it's uncomfortable. I don't want to. Rude. But yeah, y'all kind of clam up sometimes in therapy, even though you're like very comfortable talking about it on social media or like in a public way. So if anybody has insight about this or would like to educate an old ass out of touch lady, I would really appreciate it, because I have noticed this like for real in like my practice as a therapist, and I'm very curious about what that feels like, what that looks like, what your experience is like. I would just love to know. So if anybody's comfortable sharing, let a girl know. Okay, TikTok number 3. Here we go.
I ignore a lot of shit on the internet just like the rest of you, but this tweet got under my skin yesterday. It's downright mild, to be honest, but I found it surprisingly infuriating because 1, it's condescending as fuck, and 2, it's not condescending to me. He's coming at the kids. And for what? Hidden in what he's saying explicitly is the implication that it's immature to be amazed in your intro to philosophy class. But assertions from philosophy 101 courses are mind-blowing. If they weren't, then why the fuck have humans been talking about them on repeat for thousands of years? I'm sorry, are there parts of the human experience that we're supposed to have moved on from by now? Is it stupid to be intrigued by simple ideas? You want me and the teens to be embarrassed by what amazes us? Fuck no, man. Full rejection. That's some tiny world bullshit. Also, being snide and patronizing about someone still enjoying something you've apparently moved past implies that if you already know something, other people shouldn't be curious about it anymore. It's fucking bizarre, man. All right, thanks for letting me vent. I'm done now. If you'll take your amazement, no matter how simple and basic, anywhere you can find it, come along. Apparently we're into that around here.
So I included this because while it's not mental health specific, I think there's a lot to be said about this like gatekeeping attitude that shows up for people in terms of what brings them joy. If you don't follow this person on TikTok, I highly recommend. He has lots of like interesting videos about like philosophy and life perspectives and things like that. But also is just like very frank and open and honest about enjoying the things that he enjoys and like is just kind of unapologetically himself. And I think that's like very much an energy that I want to encourage people to cultivate in your own lives, because there is this like gatekeeping thing that happens about, especially for whatever reason, like media and like movies and TV and music. This happens a lot where something that is like simple or, you know, like bubblegum pop kind of stuff, it's like frowned upon to be interested or to like that or to find joy in that. And like literally, who cares? It doesn't matter. If it brings you joy and it makes you happy, lean into that. We don't need to gatekeep people's joy and excitement and happiness. And if you find something amazing or interesting or fascinating or cool or just like a neat way to pass the time, fucking go off. Have a great time. I really want to encourage you to release yourself of that judgment and to also not judge other people for the things that they're interested in or find joy in, because as long as we're not hurting people, as long as we are being consensual and safe and respectful, there's no reason that you can't enjoy things, even if they seem childish, even if they seem weird or outside of the box or outside of the norm. Fuck that noise. Especially, you know, after the year that we had last year, like now's not the time to be gatekeeping where we get our serotonin from. So like, you know, lean into what feels authentic to you. Okay, TikTok number 4. This one's a little spicy.
What if I told you that there's a drug that could help you reduce your chances of Alzheimer's by up to 30%? It also decreases anxiety, improves sleep. Did I mention that it decreases the appearance of cellulite, increases libido, naturally boosts confidence and productivity? It dramatically reduces your risk of diabetes and cancer, helps to manage stress, it improves cognition and emotional regulation. You'll live longer, your clothes will fit better, you'll have a stronger immune system. But it's not a drug, it's exercise. And because drug companies don't get a cut of that, doctors don't prescribe exercise. Or did I mention it's
Clearly, this person is not a fat person. If anybody who wants to say that doctors don't prescribe exercise, again, clearly it's not a fat person or has never existed in the body of a fat or like overweight person, because that's like the number one thing that doctors like to push in your face. It's like, are you exercising? Are you eating right? Are you being active? It's just like reeks of like thin white lady privilege. But also, I want to address some of the stuff that she talked about here on TikTok. For those of you who don't know, let's back it up a little bit. For those of you who don't know, this is Chalene Johnson. She has a bunch of like workout programs and shit. She's like pretty heavily associated with a multi-level marketing pyramid scheme called Beachbody, and is also just like very much a kind of toxic positivity person, like very exercise and dieting will cure your problems, mental illness type of person, and like does not have any kind of like mental health credentials. So first of all, I take issue with this because when a person with a large public platform represents themselves as a health professional, it's important at least for that information to be factual, but ideally for that person to have some kind of appropriate credentials or education or certification to be talking on this subject. It's different if you are a person who has struggled with mental illness and you just want to talk about your experience with that. That's totally fair. There's lots of room on the internet for lots of different stuff, and there's no reason that you can't share about your experience anecdotally. But the problem lies in people using their anecdotal experience and their, you know, life experience to project that onto other people and to insist that that is the way that it should be or that it is for everyone. The other thing about this that bothers me is someone who uses these like fancy words of like, it improves cognition and blah, blah, blah. Like that just means thinking. That doesn't mean anything. It just is frustrating because it's like very clearly this attempt to sound like a person who knows what she's talking about, except that she just kind of like recited a bunch of gobbledygook. It's frustrating to me that a person would say that exercise is this like end all be all cure all drug for lots of different things, when like, yes, exercise can be very transformative and very helpful for people who have any number of different mental illnesses. But is it the only thing that you should be utilizing to improve your mental health? Fucking no. There's a whole world of things out there that can improve your mental health. And I think it's also really important to acknowledge that something that is really helpful for one person might be actually damaging for another person. For example, someone who's in recovery from an eating disorder who struggled with compulsive exercise will not find exercise to be a useful activity in their recovery. We have to acknowledge that everybody's coming to the table with different things. And so again, that's why being a mental health professional is like ideal if you're going to talk about mental health and mental illness on the internet, because you really need to have like the appropriate credentials in the background and the research on your side to talk about these things that are quite literally life-changing. I also just want to encourage people generally to be mindful about the information that you're consuming and kind of ask yourself, like, why is this person sharing this content with me? Do they have a vested interest in me taking their advice and using it in my own life? Like Chalene Johnson sells fucking workout videos and sells diets and exercise and fitness as like a lifestyle and makes money off of that. So she has a vested interest in you taking her advice and all of a sudden taking up a new exercise routine. So that takes away from her credibility a little bit because she's not coming from an objective point of view. So that one's a yikes from me. Okay, last one. We're ending on a funny one because I think this one's funny.
My new therapist is off of maternity leave, which means I got to make an appointment with him. Wait till he finds out. There's a lot to unpack here. For example, my entire industry is shut down and I've been taking classes from my childhood bedroom. And I just ended my relationship. And for some reason, I can't stop thinking about my middle school experience. And I can't floss my teeth without counting the amount of spaces I put the floss in. And if I lose count, I have to start again. And I can't sleep ever, except for when I put my diffuser on the yellow setting for 2 hours with lavender in the diffuser and my retainer in my mouth. And then I also have to turn my fan on the second setting. Whew, I also have to listen to a podcast about Ratatouille, and that's my sleep routine. There's a lot to unpack here. See you later, Javier.
Saying that there's a lot to unpack here is just such an understatement. First of all, love the outfit. The makeup look is great. Second of all, what's happening? This just made me laugh because I've very much been this person who showed up to therapy and been like, wow, hi, here are all of the things. Here's all of my very weird and specific issues. But also, I wanted to talk about this because if this is you and you're noticing that there's like a lot of stuff for you to unpack, please just bring that into the room. I mean, maybe leave the dance routine at home, although with telehealth, I guess you could really do the dance routine if you wanted to. But yeah, please feel free to bring any and all of the things I tell my clients all the time, and I want to tell you guys all of the time, that it is not your job or your obligation to organize your thoughts into something that makes sense or is, you know, like clear and concise. Therapy is sometimes very much about word vomiting and just like getting all of the stuff out there. We can organize it later. We'll figure it out. Honestly, that's my job. It's not really your job to figure out why things are the way that they are, like what's happening. We can talk about that and have a collaborative conversation. But yeah, I know that this is like maybe a lot, like a little bit weird. But again, I think it's important to like validate and normalize this experience of just like, yes, hello, hi, I'm a mess. Here's all of my shit. Therapist, like fucking figure it out. That's totally cool. Most therapists, I would say most good therapists, should be totally game for you to come and just like dump your shit on their front porch. Not their literal front porch. Please never show up at your therapist's home. That's wildly inappropriate. But their proverbial front porch. And you guys can just like figure it out together. Okay, so that's that. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, I know that this one was a little bit shorter, but I thought it would be kind of a nice refresher because we haven't done this particular format in a hot minute. So let me know what your thoughts are. If you like the video, leave me comments and let me know how you feel about it. If you guys have suggestions, comments, questions, concerns, and all of that stuff. And subscribe to the channel because we do stuff like this. We also have really high octane, exciting educational content. So I'd love to have you stay and check it out. And yeah, share the video to help the channel grow and to help each other grow. And I'll see you guys next Saturday. Okay, bye. And if I don't burp, I'm going to puke in my mouth again. I love watching them on my phone because the fucking volume is always on. This fucking ponytail is giving me a headache. Bye-bye, horse.